Good morning. Hope all is well. Today is the 23rd. I wonder how you and your family celebrated Earth Day. We were talking as a family why they don't combine Earth Day and Earth Hour. It would have been an interesting thing, and then it wouldn't have been so dark at night. So in yoga philosophy, there are a lot of folklores or stories used to illustrate important parts of the philosophy, important traits that you should have as a person or as a yogi. And it reminds me a lot actually of most religions have folklore or stories to outline what you should be learning instead of just saying it bluntly. Today's yoga reading was out of mythology. It's the myth of Shiva Nataraja and the sages in the forest, Nataraja. The sage Patanjali ventured into the forest, hoping to see the god Shiva Nataraja perform his exquisite dance of bliss, whatever that is. He encountered a linga, a symbol of Shiva. It's an ornamental but pristine with white blossoms. He thought that maybe he could offer the linga more of the blossoms. Shiva might appear and then reveal his dance, but he searched in vain. Exhausted, he curled up on the forest floor and slept. When he awoke, he was in the company of the sage Vyaprada, who brought the white blossoms from his home in the treetops. Patanjali realized that he needed to offer gifts reflecting his own origins, not ones that didn't belong to somebody else, and journey, rather than seeking to provide gifts that others had offered. So I guess that's authenticity or being true to yourself. And so he gathered seeds from the forest floor. When the two sages brought their gifts together before the linga, it transformed into Shiva Nataraja, who performed his beautiful dance of bliss. Like Patanjali, we need to recognize our own gifts. They're just what we can offer the world, and this will give access to beauty. And I can't believe the timing, because I was just talking to my son about this, how there are pieces of us as humans, especially if you have a family, that are our gifts, and we don't always pursue our gifts or offer them back into the world. And perfect example, I was trying to sing along to a Phantom of the Opera song that I love. There's an Andrew Lloyd Webber ongoing channel, and my son never hears me sing. But I said, Liam, and he actually doesn't like it. And I said, you may not enjoy this kind of music, but that was one of the gifts that I was given. I chose to step aside from that gift in my degree in theater and singing and become a mother and all these other things. But maybe our lives would be different if I had gone on the journey with my gift. So with that, today's practice, totally unrelated. Let's use the gift actually that I was given on how to make people feel better. Some of it comes from my mother's nurturing. She was a nurse. Some of it comes from necessity of the life I was given. Today, we're going to take the tennis balls and use the gift of self-massage as part of our opening practice. Maybe we'll do it again at the end. And whenever I ask students, what can I do to help you in the class? What do you want to focus on? A lot of them mention lower back. And so it does seem to be a universal problem or challenge. And right now, we can't go for massage. We can't go to the chiropractor. So self-care becomes more important, and finding ways to alleviate your discomfort with tools you have around the house. So you have a choice. You can pause and go and try to find some tennis balls. I guess if you were really desperate, you could use 2 apples or lemons or oranges. What else? Hockey balls, baseballs, really bad golf balls. And if you've been in my class before, you've done a massage with these. Today, I really want to focus on lower back and glute. Another body part that people are telling me is challenging for them lately is knee pain. And I've noticed that as the weather changes, maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's not, my knee has twinges when I'm going up into my attic bedroom. The incline of those particular stairs affects this action of walking up and down stairs. When I researched knee pain, ironically, ankle and knee pain often originate, look at where I'm going with this, up back here in the lower back, which is actually from the glutes. Often we have tight glutes from inactivity. We also get tight glutes from too much of something, whether it's standing, walking or running on a pavement. So we're going to focus on glutes, lower back. If some of my students have also said, including especially I think of Franca, her calves are killing you. So right now, oh my, I'm rolling up and down these balls to massage my calves. That's intense. I could also do my IT band, either coming into a side plank, supporting my body weight, rolling up and down. You could do your thighs. I don't know that that would do much. Looks kind of obscene, but I'm going to come into Sphinx and press all my body weight into those thigh muscles. You know that I normally use these for hip flexors, so I find that spot, kind of where your underwear goes, and I'm going to come into Sphinx, pressing my body weight into it, or if it's too much, bring the forehead down. You can gently rock side to side, but according to the company where I got my original massage balls, he's a chiropractor massage therapist, he said it's more important to spend up to 3 minutes in a pose with the ball pressing into your trigger point. The last time I went for a chiropractic assessment, the guy opened up his laptop and looked at all the trigger points. He actually used his elbow in lieu of a ball into these trigger points. So I guess if you got really desperate, you could Google trigger points for whatever particular body part is hurting you. Let's come onto our back for a moment. I'm going to I'll show you from behind. When my knees are bent, I usually start with balls in my glute. Then eventually as I move up my back, the balls get closer and closer together, but I'm keeping that spine between them. When I get to my shoulders, you may need to hold them in place. When you get to your neck and the base of your skull, I definitely hold them in place and gently rub side to side, the bony part of my skull on them. So let's start. Coming onto my back, I'm going to take these balls. I'm going to put one into each glute, kind of in the center of your glute where your sits bone would be. And I'm going to come into reclined cobbler. Oh, this is Frankus pose. I noticed that because we haven't done anything, this cobbler is really tight. So I'm going to let my arms fall wide. Body weight is going to be on the block, the balls. We'll take a few breaths here. And continue breathing in and out through your nose. There's a theory that if you exhale through your mouth, that's slowing down the sympathetic nervous system even further. So right now, 2 at once is not enough for me. So I'm going to get rid of one block, bring this more deeply into, say, my left glute, into the center where that sits bone is. Knee falls open. That's actually not too painful. So maybe I'll move it a little further up. Not that I'm looking for pain, but oh, there's the spot I want. So our glute is divided into 4 muscles. And I think of a visual when you think of a cut of meat and they show you all the different segments. So you may want to pull up a picture on a physiotherapist page or follow them on Instagram and find out the different portions of the glute. Right now I'm noticing this one, which I think is part of where the sciatica tends to happen. That's the Dale issue. So I could stay here. I could stay here for another 2 minutes. I'm not going to keep you here. A nice way to endure this is to put on a song that you love and then come back up. And now I'll do the other side. Ball under the glute on my right side and open. Now this side is not as intense because it's not my dominant leg. You may feel a difference in your dominant leg. So in these poses, there's usually, I call it the eye of the storm. Here's my muscle, and in the middle of that muscle is the intense piece. I want to place the ball in the place that is the most intense that I can tolerate. And I want to add my body weight, some very strange ads on our yoga music, and let it go. So what happens is then here I have the eye of the storm, and as my body lets go, it sort of pulsates out from that circular area, and the whole body starts to soften, bringing us back to the interconnectivity we talked about. I'm going to take one more breath here because this is super intense, and then bring my knees back together. Next level, I'm going to move it up to my lower back, kind of where the dimples are on the top of your bottom. And it's just probably around the top of the elastic of your underwear. I'm going to bring them closer together. How long can I tolerate this? I'm doing this quicker than I normally would do it because I don't want to bore you, but you do have that option. And then Liz, if something does this, sometimes we'll bring her bent knees, oh my, or full legs up the wall while all my body weight is on these blocks. That is intense, so that's another option. And you could gently rock side to side, but that's really killing me, so I'm going to come on out. Next level, I'm going to move further up my back. Now we're coming towards the lower back, and this is where a lot of people say is their discomfort. My teacher used to say that if my lower back was loose, it's because my core was loose, the matching area. Then I did a lot of on working on my core, I still have belly flesh or a duvet over the core, but I didn't notice it really improved my lower back that much. When I follow physiotherapists, they think there's more of a connection between your glute inactivity, so some people call it gluteal fatigue, and lower back pain. I should ask Franca and Jane, I would say, and Carolyn. They walk the most out of all of our yoga friends. And so I would think walking would increase your glute strength. And especially I used to ride my bike and walk a lot, and I did notice I had much more developed firm glutes. Suburbia. I'm going to make a documentary. Suburbia is the death of the glute. And then I might move it further up. This part starts to feel more pleasurable. And now I kind of come into a back bend. Where's my yoga music? Maybe move your arms a little wider, palms turned up. Again, letting my body weight press into these balls, which are pressing trigger points. We are going to get moving soon for my active yoga friends. And then I'm going to move even further up. Now I want to bring it behind my heart or on behind my shoulders. That is super intense. I have my arms to a T, nice and wide, so that the back rib cage and the front rib cage are open. This is so intense on my non-dominant shoulder because I guess that's where I do the most technology work. Even if you were left-handed, we are in a right-handed world, so lots of activities, one of being that arm. Oh, that's the fast version. And then finally, my favorite version, I'm just going to get a little closer to show you, is the two balls together at the base of your neck. So imagine, here's my skull and neck where they meet. I'm going to gently press my head back, and there's a bony ridge underneath your head. We want to access that, so I'm going to take the balls together. I like to hold them there. And just gently roll from one side to the other, massaging any tension. If you are prone to migraines or headaches, some people will place ice cubes at the base of their skull with the belief that it shrinks the nerves that are all clustered there. Some people, if they're really constantly getting headaches there, can get even Botox injections to relax what's happening in the base of the head and neck together. That is intense. Some massage therapists will also take their fingers and kind of go under that base of the skull when they're working with you. Let's come back to the mat. And actually I can move a little bit closer to you. So now we'll do a little bit of stretching on the floor that we do sometimes to help this lower back. I'm going to switch to my non-dominant leg in front. Arms to the side, reach up. Lengthen. Think of your sits bones rooting down. Arms rise, lengthen. Left arm's going to drop, and I'm going to reach, answer the question, and arc. This feels really good to me on the right side of my body. Not everyone will be this stretchy. Option to roll the shoulder back and look at the sky. So now it's a slightly different stretch. Really good if you're hunched over, and then back up. We're going to switch sides. Dominant back in front, left arm up, reach the question, answer the question. Lengthen. Then I'm going to arc as deep as my body will allow because this feels really good. And back up. Let's switch to non-dominant one more time. Two arms this time. So I'm going to hold the beach ball as if it was there, but I'm not going to drop the arm. Engage, rise, belly's engaged, arc to the right. I can't go as far because I'm going to lose the floor contact here. Back up, and then arc to the right. And undo. And one last one because we're sitting here. Right leg in, left leg out. Maybe point and flex a few times. Inhaling, arm up. Left arm drop, right arm reach. Answer the question, arc. And we do add it in a variation. Sometimes I can take my hand at the base of my skull and open. And bend. I can try to reach that arm. Arm, toe. And then I'm going to arc to the other side. And switch. Left leg out, right leg in. Palms to the sky, reach up. And let's take right arm down, arc. Option to look at the ceiling. And come on out. Left hand down, right arm up, reach up. Arc. And come on out. Roll out your ankles. Let's come into tabletop. We'll do a little cat-cow, and then we will be able to do our sun salutations. We did some spinal twists yesterday. I think we should add those back in. I find that the spinal twist, unless it's part of our daily routine, our body resists it. Bum in the air, palms under the shoulders, press the finger pads down, and then come back to that core engagement. Engage your core, release it. Just notice, where are you feeling tugging? When you engage your core, recognize the muscular connection to other parts of the body. So I could do this whole thing dumping in my shoulders, totally floppy and relaxed. Would it have the same amount of effort? No. You're always welcome to do a little bit gentler practice, depending on your mindset. Engage your core. Now tuck tailbone to the sky, and then slowly lift your head up, looking up. Slowly come into cat. So tail drops, chin to chest. Push the floor away. Inhale, cow, slow motion. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Neutral. And let's do our bird dog because we're standing here. Right hand, left knee, stay down. Right hand, left knee. Right foot step back, left hand reach. Flex and lengthen. Engage the core. Lengthen. Undo. Extended child's pose. Back to tabletop. Left hand, right knee, stay down. Left foot step back. Right arm reach. Lengthen. Engage your core. Stabilize the pose. Squeeze the glutes to center and lengthen. Undo, child's pose. And then just for fun, let's do same. Let's keep right hand, right knee down. I might move my right arm out a little bit from under directly to my shoulder. Left foot steps back, shift the weight into the right arm. Option to lift that leg. Option to come up barely on the finger pads, coming left arm to a T, or forward, or, this is my favorite, come back to a T, open and stack. My left toes are pointing forward, left hand in the sky. Option to take this to your hip or behind you. Or, remember, the bind. Can you do this without looking? Left foot bends towards your bum and grab a hold of it. Open and look at the ceiling. Nice chest and shoulder opener. Undo, child's pose. Back to tabletop. Left hand, left knee stays down. I like to tuck that left toe, shifting my weight into the left side. Right foot steps back, lift to the height of my hips, toes point down. Right arm is either going to come on fingertips, forward, side, or open and stack. Or, proprioception building, find that foot and make the bind. Whoop! About to fall. Roll the shoulder back. Undo. Let's do wide leg extended child's pose. So knees are wide, toes are touching. And I'm going to come down. And back up. And while we're here, let's do one more back stretch. Coming into extended child's pose. We're going to walk our arms to the left. Bum and hips to the right. Lean into that stretch all on the right side of the body. Back to center. Let's walk our arms to the right, bum and hips to the left. Back to center, and can you bring your chest to the floor, bum in the air? And then back up. I'm gonna hop and come into standing at the top of your mat or forward fold. You're going to decide. Half back, fold, arms to the side wide, and heart center. Let's do 3 rounds of that. Inhaling up, exhale, fold. half back, fold, arms to the side wide, and heart center. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Half back, fold, arms to the side wide, and heart center. Let's do our sun salutations. Inhaling up, exhale up, sitting into chair. Option to add hands to heart center. Option to twist to the outer left thigh, look over your shoulder. Center, counter twist to the outer right thigh, look over your shoulder. Center, fold, half back, fold, plant, come onto your knees and lower your heart between your hands. Sleeping Cobra, 2 breaths. Engaging everything. So I'm going to press the tops of my feet down, squeeze my thighs together, and baby cobra. Tuck your toes, dog. Pedal your dog. Right foot in the air, 3-legged dog. Bend your knee, open and stack your hips. Come through high lunge, hands to heart center. Look at the balance that you're retaining here. So you can choose to stay here, or inner thigh and stack. Center, outer thigh and stack. There's that deep back twist. Hands to center, release. Feet together, fold. Rise, heart center. That was one side. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold. Half back, fold. Plant, let's hop and slowly lower. Sleeping Cobra, 2 breaths. Rooting down through the front of the body, hugging to center. Pick up your head, baby cobra. Tuck your toes, dog. Paddling your dog. Left foot in the air, 3-legged dog. Bend your knee, open and stack your hips. Coming back, step through, find your footing, high lunge. You might stay here or enter inside that left thigh. Center, outer left thigh. Center, release. Feet together, fold. Rise, heart center. One more on each side. Get our heart rate going. My friend and I were talking about the demise of our healthy eating while we've been on this COVID. She made a good point. As long as you get 2 liters of water into your body and you're happy, and maybe 30 minutes of something that lifts your heart rate up per day. Don't beat yourself up. I can go back to my Whole30 eating at the end of all this. Inhale up, sitting back in a chair that's not there. Hands to heart center. Twisting to the right outer thigh. Back to center. Counter twist to the left outer thigh. Center and fold. Half back, fold, plant. Let's do chaturanga. Don't love it. Elbows bend, shoulders bend, and belly's supposed to be the last thing. Sleeping Cobra, 2 breaths. And then choosing your back bend. So I may just pick up my head, baby cobra, regular cobra, or up dog. Down dog. Right foot in the air, come through, high plank, high lunge, hands to heart center. Let's come, hands to heart center, inner thigh. This foam is very wobbly. Hands to heart center, outer thigh. Hands release, feet together, fold, rise, heart center. One last side. Can you see the difference in my practice because we didn't do very much floor stretching or therapeutics? Thank you. Inhale up, chair, heart center chair, twist to the left, center, twist to the right and stack, center, release. Half back, fold, plant, come on down onto your knees, Sleeping Cobra, 2 breaths. While you're here, checking in with your lower back. And then you're going to decide what level of a back bend you want to do. So baby cobra or up dog, which I accidentally forgot. Left foot in the air, bend the knee, hug, come through, high lunge, step that foot down, rise. Hands to heart center. Choosing to stay here, thumbs to the sternum, palms pressurized, or adding the twist. Inner left thigh, Elbows stacked, look over your right shoulder. Center, outer left thigh. Back to center, release. Feet together, fold. Rise, and heart center. Let's throw in that thigh stretch. Lots of people asking about thighs. Coming into Thunderbolt, you're gonna come on your knees. Press the thighs together. No, I don't wanna see this happening. And either just start to lean back here. Woo, knees root down. How far back can we go? It's almost like limbo. You could bring fingertips to the mat. Now I'm opening the chest and my thighs. I'm gonna press the thighs together, thighs press down, heart opens, I'm gonna look at the ceiling. And that feels good in my body, but not necessarily in yours, so listen to your body. I wanted to come back to that bind we just did. So we're gonna start with, maybe we'll go back to the half moon that we did on the floor. We were doing same bird dog. We've done this one before. Today I am gonna use 2 blocks. I'll show you what it looks like without the blocks, excuse me. But it would be better in your joints and more stable if you took a bunch of books or if you have blocks. So here's without blocks. I'm gonna step right foot down, 1 or 2 foot, or maybe a foot shoe size ahead, palm down and open. That's without a block. What that does is it shortens. My arm is not the same length as my leg. Let's come back and do it now with proper alignment. Right foot lands about 1 shoe length away from the blocks. Right palm lands. Left palm to hip. Stabilize. So I'm going to shift my weight forward and back into that hand and that foot. I'm noticing that my ankle is a little wobbly. Guess what? That's a tight hip. I'm going to look down and not much of a balance pose, it's a little. As soon as I roll my shoulder back and look across the room, it is now a balance pose. Flex, tighten everything. Option to stay here, or left hand in the sky, or over your ear. So there's this variation, or my favorite, bend your left foot and try to find it. Open and stack the shoulders and look at the ceiling. Undo, take a squat. So I can either do a squat like this, or let's take our blocks. Supported squat lets my hips come into a deeper squat than before. Okay, I can feel that tomorrow we are going to do more hip work. I'm totally missing that. I can come in here and go a little deeper, and then once more full squat. If my body can't do that squat, you know that we like this squat. Legs are wide. I'm using my thighs for support. Pushing your butt back. Let's move the blocks into the correct spot. Last side. Okay. Left foot, 1 shoe width apart from this block stack. Left hand onto the block. Left foot grounds. Shift, you might shift forward and back till you feel stable enough to lift the right leg up. My right hand comes to my hips, and I'm going to roll that shoulder back. Already I feel some resistance in my dominant hips. I want to pay attention to that. As soon as I look across the room, now it's a balance pose. Option to take right arm in the air, or over my ear, palm down, or find the bind. Balance and proprioception. Can you get used to finding body parts without using your vision? Just rely on your sixth sense, kind of your inner knowledge. Undo and supported squat. The last one we're going to do is a little more difficult. I remember I went to a 2-hour workshop setting me up to get into this pose. And once my brain got it once, I never needed that 2-hour workshop again. We've done this last version of downward dog before as a proprioception building pose. Maybe we'll do a quick stretch in a short dog and then the pose I'm talking about. So, our stretch one, let's come into tabletop. Tuck my toes and press into a short downward dog. Can you walk your feet in enough that you might be able to drop your heels? And I'm going to go the width of my mat. For some of us, this is it. You may have to bend your knees. You might stay here, pressing your heels down. Notice the glutes, engage the core, and then press your heart towards your thighs. So that feels really good to me and my lower back. It's a big hamstring and calf and shin stretch. if I want to add the stretch, I'm going to keep my left hand down, right arm up, and just bring it to your left calf. Hook it from around the front. Pull. So I'm going to lean by pulling my right shoulder towards the upper right corner of the mat. Some of you can cup your heel and lean. Oh, that feels amazing. And then switch. Paddle in between. Right palm is solid. Both feet are solid. Left palm grabs right calf. So I can hook from the front and pull there. Or lift my right heel and step down on my hand that is cupped from the front, across the ankle, and lean. Undo child's pose. And we're going to do one last variation. These may be fast for you. If you find my instruction fast, I do encourage you to hear the message, maybe watch my shape, pause, maybe someone in your family can help you too, and then come back and do the pose on your own and hold it longer. Play around with it. I've been practicing yoga for just under 30 years. So my experience and my flexibility is different than yours. Tabletop, last one. Tuck the toes, press in a downward dog. Widen your dog so that you can drop your heels. Let's keep right hand, left foot, left hand down. And if I lift only my right foot up, I'm in a three-legged dog. Perhaps this is where you stay. I've dropped the left heel. Not everybody's going to do that. So what would it look like if I didn't drop it? It would be a lot more unstable. So then you might walk it in so you're able to drop that left heel down. Now, right hand stable, left foot is stable. Diagonal, just like we did earlier. Option to come on your left finger pads. So that's another version. I'm still trusting my right hand, my left foot. Option to come to a T with that left arm. Two-legged dog. Option to bend your right foot towards you, try to grab it and make the bind. You could cheat, I can see the shadow in my mat. You could do it in front of a mirror. Undo, knees down, child's pose. And one last side. Again, sorry if I feel like I'm rushing through this. Tabletop, tuck back, tuck toes, short downward dog. Walk it in, maybe drop your heels. This time, left hand, right foot stays down, and even my right hand. And I'm going to pick my left foot up, three-legged dog, flex. Coming up onto my right finger pads, I might stay here. I might come into right arm to a T. Or, oh my gosh, this side's much tighter. I might grab my left foot, make a bind. Undo, child's pose. Awesome work, guys. So that was a lot thrown into one. I'll be honest, it's a lot to balance some of my students who need complete relaxation and some of you who really want to be physically challenged. I do welcome you to write to me what is it that you're looking for in your practice this week. Believe me, we're just wrapping up 6 weeks of practice times 5 classes. That's a lot of classes without input. So please let me know if there's anything you want to work on. Today, my best friend since I was 4, Christine, shout out to Christine in Alberta. She's been following the class. She has 2 young boys, my son's age. And I said, you're a dental hygienist, what body parts hurt you? And she said, lower back's tight. And then she was saying knee. And guess what? Just before she told me all that, I read an article about, again, I've mentioned this before, glute inactivity is leading to lower back problems, knee problems, all interconnected. You know I'm going to keep saying it. Okay, today's blessing card is, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. This one is exactly what someone said to me once. And I'm going to tell you the backstory. I was having a massage, and it was one of the more boring massages I've had before. We got chatting, and we had similar interests in theater and all stuff. And I thought, I'm not really getting much out of this massage. And then we were talking about my mom with MS, and her faith was so strong. Why did she get MS? Why was God letting her suffer? Where's the blessing? She was always hoping for a blessing. And he turned to me and he said, you and your brother are the blessing. And it just was my biggest aha moment that said to me, I need to treat my life as a gift. I really need to do something of value with this life that I've been given, almost at the expense of my mother's being ill. So today is you are the blessing. You are a blessed soul and a blessing to this world and to others, so small and large. In giving, you also receive, for life is an ebb and flow of love and blessings. We are all of a single essence, and yet we are one in spirit, so big and small. To give is to bless both yourself and to others. So, think about that. Interconnected. What you have, you need to give back to this world. The good in me sees the good in you. Namaste. And have a beautiful afternoon.